What's up? This is MJC Paranormal. I am here with Jonathan Myers, Crossover Paranormal, and I'm also here with Pete, his father, and we're all connected with the Crossover Paranormal Society. I am wearing their merch, and it is awesome. And check out Pete. There's Pete. What's up, Pete? And Jonathan is over there, and he is on a live chat. And I'm going to be 100% honest with everybody right now. I already done this once, but I messed up because I didn't have my mic on, so I had to start over. But this time I'm getting it right, and I am very happy that I have come back to this rock house of John Martin. It's a Civil War historical home here, and we're also going to be going to the graveyard that's connected to this rock house here, and where actual John is buried. So that's going to be crazy because I've already been here. I've already put out a video of these places and got really good evidence. I mean, some of the best evidence I've got on YouTube doing the paranormal, so I had to come back. A lot of people wanted me to come back, so I did, and hopefully we can get a lot of good stuff tonight also. Let's hit it up right now. I think we're going to get a lot of good stuff tonight, Pete. And this time, I'm going to this place is mega big. Mega big. We're also going to come during the daytime. I will be coming here a good bit because of the positive responses and stuff that I got, and the EVPs was just incredible that I got out of here. They had a hell of a porch.
You got snow or water on it, it's got to be slick or snot.
I wish I could get in there, but this place has security cameras on it, and we kind of play by the rules, people. I don't know if y'all can read that, but if you can, there it is. You can pause it and check that out. I want to come down here because over here there used to be a little home also. I don't know if it was the guest house or what, but it used to be right here. Hey Pete, you know what? These rocks might not even be part of this house.
That might be where the rock now.
Yep, this right here, I bet anything is where that other house was built. And I don't know if it was the guest home or where the mess hall, where they actually cook dinners and gathers and gathered, to eat. But that could be what all these rocks are right here.
Square right around right there.
Let me see what it looks like in infrared. Or, I don't know why I keep saying that. John Martin, if you're here, sir, could you please come out and speak into my microphone where I could hear you? The wind is blowing pretty bad tonight. So that, y'all. I'm pretty sure it's hitting my microphone. What's up, Jonathan?
Not much, bud. Mapping you out.
He is doing live. Who's watching real quick?
This is a ghost tube.
Oh, Ghost Tube?
Yeah.
Have you hit anything yet?
No, I just mapped you out and that's about it. I got a feeling it might get something to the graveyard over there.
I'm gonna set up on these stumps. I'm gonna see if anything happens with these cat balls. I don't know if it'll do it, but if so, maybe. I'm just gonna set them right here, one right there, and it's going off. It'll stop in a minute, and I'm gonna put another one right here, and we got two more. Kind of give them different options. Put the other one right there. Trying to get them out, y'all. And I'm gonna put another one right here. All right, y'all. If y'all are here, there's a bunch of cat balls out here. So if y'all touch any one of them balls that I just put on the ground and make them go off for me to let us know that you're with us right now and that you're willing to communicate, could you please touch either one of them? It don't matter where it's at, which one that you touch, but could you do it now, please? He's putting another one over here. If there's a spirit with us right now and you're willing to communicate, could you cut on one of these cat balls for us, please? I heard a knock over there. Did you hear that? Yeah, it knocked once. Are you trying to tell us that it's too far from you to do this?
Are you at the graveyard right now? If you're at the graveyard, can you come and let one of these balls light it up?
Did you hear that one? That was a big ass limb that just broke. Did you hear that? Dang. Know what that is?
I don't know what's going on, but that light right there, whose K2 is that?
That's your daddy's?
Well, that green light wasn't even on.
Yeah.
And after that knock, that light was on. Because I kept looking at it and I said, why would you lay a K2 down and it wasn't even on? And now it's on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That green light was not on.
I know y'all just heard that, right? I believe, really, I honestly think that there is a Bigfoot out here. Because since I've been here, I have heard a whoop. We just heard a loud crash in the woods. It sounded like a big old limb being broke. And I just actually heard another one.
Hey, can somebody cut one of these balls on for us, please? We got them all over the ground. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk to you.
Oh, it did it. It cut it on. There's nobody over there. There is nobody over there, y'all. It cut it. That is Pete's. Thank you. Thank you so much. Could you cut that on for us again? Wow, it just did it.
We're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk to you and ask you a few questions, okay? If you understand me, will you cut that ball back on again?
That was awesome. There it goes. Thank you so much. That is awesome, Jonathan.
Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Now, watch out. That cat ball's like right there close to your feet somewhere.
I see it.
Okay.
We appreciate it, man.
Look at that. It did it again. Wow, thank you. This is amazing, y'all. There, look, I'm going to show. Look, and it come on again. Look, Pete, we're over here. We're not near this. This is really happening, y'all.
You can't make that up.
You can't. And that's on response. That is insane. Can you cut it? Thank you. Could you cut it on again? Could you cut on a different one?
Hey, I gotta go live one more time. Check this out.
That is insane.
We've been asking questions and we get the
Hey, there's somebody here, y'all. Oh, what's up, brother? All right, there's somebody coming up out of the woods.
Hey, get Barnes right there. Hung himself on damn fence, dummy. It's fucking hilarious. Excuse my French. I ain't see y'all filming nothing. I'm sorry, boys.
Oh, no, you're good. Come on over here. You all right?
Oh, all right.
We're YouTubers. A lot of people's watching right now. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good, and you?
We are paranormal investigators.
Excellent.
You might as well get in the video, man.
Hey, David.
But yeah, we are actually having some paranormal experiences. Let me see. There's cat balls laying in the floor on the ground here, and let me see. Where's that other one? What these are is the spirits will cut them on.
Right there. Nice.
Do what? Okay. And
You want me to get this one up?
No, let's leave that for a minute.
yeah.
Let me see what I got here. See if I still got this recording on there.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Joseph Roberts.
This is Joseph Roberts, and he came up. I guess he's going to join us in this video, and this is a cool adventure. So let's get back to it. If there's any spirits here, we know that you're here. You was just talking to us. Could you come back and cut the cat balls on for us right now, please? You kept that one on over there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Man, that thing was going off like crazy too. You can also speak into my microphone. I can hear your voice. And let's turn this right here this way. So if they touch that.
Hey, it's gone off again.
It did go off. Look. Nobody's around that, y'all. That is impossible. That is insane.
You, Anna, or Jacob? Which one of y'all? Say hey. No, we're they good people.
So who was Anna or Jacob?
Well, Anna was, I'm believing, I think it was one of his younger daughters. Jacob, we're not really quite sure on. That name's come up in the past a couple of times. May have been one of the militia regulars that were in this region during the time of the Guilford Courthouse campaign. As you all may know, the historical background on here, So, Colonel Jack Martin, or John Martin, as you may have heard, in his more popular movie, the rendition of, in fact, The Patriot. Colonel Jack Martin, reluctant sailor. So, few of these things were taking a couple of civil liberties, as you would say, in its filming and its production. For example, was his sister-in-law down in South Carolina? Yes. Was a lot of his more successful campaigns down in the swamps, aka the Swamp Fox itself, i.e. Yes, also true. However, for time and production, of course, they basically modified it all down to South Carolina, where all of his filming and production was done. Okay. Did they stick more or less close to the facts? Pretty much. The front porch where you see where his son was at, and they just shot that one regular blue coat, correct? You guys remember that scene? That porch is over there.
Dang, that's crazy, man.
Congratulations. The earthworks fortifications are actually on my property. Great time to film, but just terrible for lighting. Should have gotten that shot in earlier. I wish I knew you guys were here. Was actually some of the earthworks fortifications. Were there any major battles in this area? Not really. But does that mean that this place is excluded from its own? Seriously.
Dang. That is crazy, man. I'm glad you showed up because you know a lot about this stuff, and I'm from Georgia, so I'm actually learning myself. So I appreciate it, man, that you have come over here like this and told us.
So which one was your favorite college football team?
Oh, hell, y'all watch football?
I'm just Carolina fan.
I like Georgia Bulldogs. I'm from Georgia, so I got to support them dogs, and they're doing good this year too.
Here's our card. Got my name, YouTube name, and Facebook name, and got my telephone number and my dad's phone number on there. We're from Surrey County.
All right, so y'all from around the corner.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you ain't gonna like me if I said roll tide. Anyway, all right. So y'all know about Thor Road then, right? Over at the old grist mill, right? That double cabin. All right, you guys. I mean, you only get a little something here, but remember, you also have a lot of courtside rock in this building over here, and you got bouncing over here at these antennas. Not saying that would give off a false. I'm just saying what finer notes that your mind, ESP, whatever, may pick up on, may be scoured. I noticed when you got a, no overcast or something, your chances get better. Your hot spot that you're totally missing, Thor.
Yeah.
And cut. I'm just kidding.
But man, I mean, this is what's blowing my mind. That ball hadn't even went off again. I mean, and could y'all cut it on? If y'all still here, could you cut the ball on? Either one of them?
Which name did I say first?
Anna?
Honey, these ain't red cups, baby doll. You're all right. Story of Tori's death.
Hey, there,
As your
Kevin.
boys probably already know, this one.
Appreciate you joining me, bub.
This place is just magnificent, man. I'm just surprised how these stones, how they built this place, and it stood as long as it did, with no concrete.
No cement on it?
Here you go, sir.
No, I don't smoke.
Oh.
I said there wasn't no cement on that.
No, sir. This is actually all done Philadelphia style. Dry lock. Dry stack.
Dry stack. Yep.
Yep, there's absolutely no mortar or anything. All of these stones were quarried about 5 miles away, over at the base of Sartown Mountain herself, over on Old Quarry Road. And remember, this was probably, 1730s, 1740s when this started? So you're talking about, you don't really even have a well-established wagon road. You basically got deer trails going into a rut. And they had to haul all of this by hand.
I tell you, when you spit on house, another house right there beside it.
Right over, the one right over yonder, sir?
Okay.
Yep, the foundation, as a matter of fact, is over there. That was actually some of the handmaids' servants' quarters, as well as...
Right down there.
Oh, boy. Wait. What if that was another one? Okay, backstory. So you remember in the movie, it's talking about the British are trying to, pull his men from him,
Yeah.
his free men, and he's like, look, you'll be free, and that one black guy jumps up. We're already free. Colonel Jack Martin was actually a Quaker, and at that time in history, Quakers and Shakers, a lot of other movements that were coming down here that were developed in this region of America, believe it or not, were not always staunch slave advocates, okay? So contrary to common belief, just because it's a plantation and just because we're Southern and just because we have a heritage that goes back doesn't necessarily mean that all Southern white males come from a line of slaveholders. One perfect example is here. Believe it or not, there was actually no slaves that worked here. However, the several men that they show that were portrayed in the movies and generations, I think there's like 14 all gay, were all granted land as free men with their own places, such places as Paintown, Greentown, what is that other one going up towards Virginia there? Simonstown, and so forth. You know, would be classically known as the Bottoms. Were huge tracts that were granted upon their retirements. While they stayed, though, and of course you notice during their childbearing years, they were staying over in quarters that were over here. This would have been more of the field area. The cemetery where they were buried at, and this is your one key proof that's going to give it away. And for all those of you out there and watching out in YouTube land, take it with a grain of salt. Okay, the reason we can establish that they are in fact free men and not what you call classical slaves is a simple fact that their graves are sitting right next to Colonel Jack Martin and Mrs. Shipp as well. They are, in fact, even though there was a wrought iron fence that was erected in the mid-1930s around it, when that cemetery was first established, which is right over here, just down over this hill, it was all one cemetery, and they were all buried together as brothers in arms.
Amazing, man.
Not only were they free men, these guys were actually veterans. So there you go. If you're looking for a light in the shade of the darkness, there you go. Plantation that was run by free men who were paid freely and were all founding fathers and patriots, both white and black alike, fighting side by side. Y'all's welcome, America.
I appreciate that, man. And I think it was meant to be for you to come over here how you did. And I really appreciate that because you're very knowledgeable about all this. And
History buff. As a matter of fact, when I was living in Richmond, Virginia, actually went to college, associate in arts transfer. That's what I wanted to be. I actually wanted to work in battlefields and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My parents, when I was growing up, were Marines, so I was Northern Virginia, Quantico, so, you know, no shortage there. Plus, well, this is Mom and Papa's homeland, so.
Yeah.
Other great spots that I would check is right down in Thor in itself. Y'all know about that Moonshine family, right? Though no name was ever actually established, there was believed to be a moonshine ring in this area that they pulled 18 homicide victims out of that holler back sometime during the late 80s. I think there was like 18 all day, all same MO, hog-tied execution style, 2 in the back of the head.
Damn.
Bound, of course. Here's the problem. Given the analysis and the dating of the corpses, their execution range started somewhere in the 30s and wound up probably somewhere in the late 70s, early 1980s. Whoever was doing this was going on from one generation to the next. Could this maybe have been a mean, bad old codger? Hey, don't ever underestimate, trust me. My whole family's Marines. You don't want to see my papa eat at the age of 97. Yeah, I dared you step on his front porch and run that lift. Yeah, you thought you had a sweet old man till that M1 Garand come up. Trust me, he only had one belief. You know what a safety is? This right here.
Yeah.
This disappears, you ain't safe, son.
That's right.
He told you, get going. So this actually believes, even though these were all done the same style, this had to be an ongoing thing from the family. So you've got, I mean, dude, I won't go down there right now. Okay, yes I will. Give me a couple shots of courage. And yeah, I mean, you want a nice day, nice evening, cool off. I mean, it might be 103 up here, go down to Thor Road. Watch that temperature drop.
Now, was anything built right here? Because we
Yes.
did. Okay.
Look. Ball.
The ball is going off. Look at that. And it's did it right when I started talking. Now, I've been thinking about that ever since. Do you want me to go in there and is there something in there that you want me to find out and see? If there is, could you cut that ball on? Tell me about what was built right here, because that ball went off for a reason.
Well, this right here was the Freeman, the field servants, is basically his pruning crew. Like I said, where he didn't own slaves or indentured. This is where his workers worked. There would have been what we now call a 3-unit. Anybody who's worked out west, such as myself, lived in bunkhouses before, know that that's kind of subjective. It's like basically 3 big ass closets in a building. It is well kept, basic. The refrigerator, what they call refrigerator, well, they didn't call it that then. The spring house, that was just covered over a few years ago, over down here in this corner. That was still standing. So that was your house right there. The spring that they brewed off of was just a little over there. So, I mean, if you had an outhouse, it'd probably been somewhere over here on the side ground. So you had that. I wish these bars weren't up. I'd give you the grand tour of the house.
I know it.
That lower, in that basement, that big old fireplace, in his prime, could cook in ox plus 3 sides at one time in Dutch kettles, and you still have plenty of elbow room.
Dang.
So, I mean, that's where the hand service, the maids lived, you know what I mean?
So they actually did live in that little house that was built on the side right there.
Yes.
It's in that picture over there.
Yeah, though the proportionally distortionate, it's got all the goodies on there. It's got them all on there.
So that was the house that I was showing you a while ago. It's not a house now, but it's the rocks all right there on the other side of the fence, Jonathan.
Yeah.
That was the house that was built right next to this house. And I was wondering, I was confused because I didn't know if it was actually the mess hall where they cooked and ate at, or if it was like a guest house.
Right. That one was more like a guest made house.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, a little more fancier. There was a kitchen in it, I'd imagine. Of course, it's probably where they did a lot of it. I mean, honestly, but like I said, like big affairs. Like, for example, when George Washington, Light Horse Lee, grandfather of Robert E. Lee, and who was that started the Connecticut Dragons? Can't remember his name. Anyways, they all stood right there in this doorway.
Wow.
Right there.
Imagine that, man.
When they came back down after, the Guilford Courthouse or whatever, and they made plans for the Southern offensive, because those, read back, the tide of the Revolutionary War was basically an uphill battle the whole way. People don't realize or appreciate how closely we came to never being America.
Yeah.
It was only when they basically started getting a foothold in the South, and basically where most of the action took place, was what turned the actual tide of the war. And during that time, and this is where the building where some of those plans were actually laid out. So, not only do you have that scene where this kid's getting shot right there, you've also got, not only you got the scene of Tory's Den. I'm sure you've heard that legend so far. The scene where they got the little ribbon is hanging out of the burnt church and everything like that, was a play. This is another liberty they took in a movie. In actuality, they kidnapped his daughter. She used the hem off of her dress, a red hem, and would place it so often going into Hanging Rock State Park.
Wow.
In a cave, where there was a dispatch or a unit of redcoats, Tories. And rumor has it, going in with basically a flintlock pistol and a big-ass kitchen knife, he went to work and made light work out of these boys, thus rescuing his daughter. One of the pieces that she used to take around and used to go stumping with when he later on became, first a judge, then he became county commissioner, what else was it? Something else like some kind of justice. In this area, this actually doubled over as a courthouse. This doubled over as a militia meetup. This was also, as you can plainly tell, a fort at one point in time. Yes, there were skirmishes here. Like I said, right over where I'm at, there are actually earthwork fortifications. Was it as big as, say, the battle for like Delaware? No. But it wasn't really the big ones that actually made the difference. It was the small ones, piece by piece, bit by bit.
Look, that one's going off.
And for all of you boys, all you brave militiamen, all of you great patriots out there who is brave enough to fight the crown, long live America.
That went off.
Yep.
Thank you for your services.
I appreciate that a lot, y'all. Is there any way y'all could do that again? And it's doing that when y'all say certain things. That is crazy. I want to take a check out. I want to look at this.
We also mentioned this also doubled over as bears at certain times, they say?
Yeah. This is what's kicking me right here. I mean, and it's clear right here. There is nothing. It's almost like a hut. But there's a mound of rocks right here. So this is what he was talking about, the barracks. And I think that's pretty cool. Check that out. But yeah, I think it's pretty damn cool that you showed up, man, because I didn't know none of this stuff, brother, until you just walked up.
Oh, you want to see a wagon road? And it was quoted, had it not been for the rain, there would have been no proper Christian burial, for the pieces of them were so bad that there wasn't a piece left of them to bury. It's about 14 feet tall, and it's a rut. You go into a rut. This is one of the last roads that will lead you plumb up the hills. Of course, because, you know, Sartell Mountain being in Pilot Mountain being beacons, you know what I mean? They were landmarks.
Yeah.
And this is basically your last stop of any site of civilization. You're basically going back into basically Cherokee territory after this. You're going back into native territory. If you ain't got no business up here at this point in time when he was established under colonial law, keep your white hind end down the hill, okay? If you ain't got no business being up there, don't go up past this point. Another reason this was strategically placed, you know, for tactical purposes, because there were garrisons, a guard garrison for lack of better terms, you know? Maybe not as formal as we may think about it, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there was actually a German Landsknecht that they had out that window up there alone. Used that and a few others. They fired over here, and when they caught him in the trench, they opened up a whole can of APCs on their hind ends.
That
There
is awesome.
was nothing. They said the carnage was terrible. I'll leave it at that. But it's still nothing to make light of, I understand, you know.
Heck yeah, I'm just blown away how them cat balls was just going off like that, man.
What was we talking about in specific?
It was, well, I walked over there and it hit me over here, like, and that's how they do, they give you thoughts. And you sit there and think about it, and I'm focused on that mound of rocks right there, and now I know what it is. It's
I did lose my train of thought by the time I was getting back. I lost my focus too. Was kind of on there, wasn't it?
yeah. And see, notice that they're not doing anything, and the only way that them balls can go off right there is if you touch them. It's, what is it, motion?
It's a real sense of motion.
And that's the only way that could have went off. And it's funny that that one went off.
But the other two didn't.
Yeah, because that debunks wind. And you see, look, that's the only way. And look how far I did that away.
Yeah.
Notice
Neither
how...
one of us was standing anywhere close to that.
I was right here.
And I was standing right where I was standing, and that's about dead middle, right between us when we was talking about, you know, what was it, the convergence
Right.
for the southern planning of the southern offensive.
If there's anything that y'all want to say, y'all can speak into his mic on his camera.
And I'll be able to understand you. And you can also speak into this, and I will understand you when I go home, and when I come back, I will know what to say.
Thank you for your... Oh, wow.
So if you're here, could you tell me that you're here now? I might not be able to hear you right now, but when I go back home, I will be able to understand everything that you're saying. Hey, do you believe in Bigfoot? Yeah. I know that's a weird question to ask, but
Not really. How many sea creatures have we discovered just in the last 20 years alone?
a lot. The coelacanth, that was thought to be extinct, so that's a living fossil. And we pull out the ocean, shit, new creatures near about every day.
Giant squid.
Yeah.
We've known about it, but just now have found one after all these years. Why couldn't there have been a large primate, scarce, rare, probably has a low breeding rate, you know what I mean, that is highly intelligent, is kind of skittish, and because of his fur coat needs to stay in really, really cold, secluded places, way back in the hills, near the creeks, near the moss, because, you know, he's got to keep cool.
Yep.
I mean, they would give natural defense. I mean, in this case, it's not really, you're not really talking about extra, what's the word I'm looking for? Supernatural. You're talking about zoological.
Yeah.
I mean, this one goes into its whole other bracket by itself. I mean, how long ago was it when they actually discovered and found the first real silverback gorilla?
This what? Back in the 40s, 50s?
Not that long
Yeah,
ago.
not that long ago.
And I mean, that's a large primate right there, so.
And it was kind of like like the Bigfoot now. It was like a myth.
Yeah. I mean, they used to believe that there's this type of breed of mountain lion. It's like known from West Virginia, slightly larger, twice as mean. They all
Yeah.
thought it was a myth till someone bagged one in '89. Paul's bigger than a man's head.
That beats everything I've ever seen. There's a bush growing on the top of that up there, y'all. Man, I wish they'd start setting off these cat balls for us. They had that one going off seriously a while ago.
Long live John Hancock.
Is John Hancock here? It just said yeah over the ghost box. And I know John is here because he talked to us. I mean, the video I put up, man, you could hear them. They sit there and have a conversation with us. I'm here. It just said it. Did you hear it?
So during the Continental phases, who exactly was our first Continental president before George Washington, before we were actually established? Who was one of the temporary presidents? Everybody says it's a tussle between John Hancock and that other guy. I can't remember his name. Was it you or the other guy?
It just said Hancock.
Oh, I knew it.
It just
I knew
said
it.
Hancock just as clear as day, dude. Oh my God. I got chills.
So is it true that when you were signing it, not only did you sign it because it's so big because of the space in it, because you know you're the first one, but for the simple fact that you actually was bragging, like sticking your tongue out at King George? Like you were daring him to come say something.
He said something. He just said something.
He just said yeah.
That's what it sounded like. He said something else. And
So
it's
was you ever
true.
involved like with the alcohol trade? Because like a lot of people said that like just like you and John, what's his name, Sam Adams and Paul Revere, like all y'all boys like we're like basically wrapped up in this whole like whiskey conspiracy thing, like before the war and everything. Was you like a bootlegger, or is that just a myth?
said something.
I can't hardly make it out.
But now that microphone
It's a
right there
myth.
is
I can
hearing
hear it. It's a
everything.
myth. I've got to, basically what it is, why I'm talking so loud, one of my ears is screwed up. Just because you're deaf in winter doesn't mean you don't hear, it doesn't work. It means you just can't hear sounds. You hear pitches and vibrations. I can't get underneath large towers, any kind of those huge like electrical things. I can't get near those. I can only get so close to these radio towers. I can't be around CG equipment and a lot of hand tools because of the pitches and ranges. My ear's like a tuning fork.
Man, I'm surprised. I mean, they were answering him. They're still answering him. And I'm just thankful. I mean, this is really the first time that I've got the cat balls going off on video in a very good way. You
How
know,
much of a role did those French boys play when they was helping y'all out? Because, you know, they try to take most of the credit for y'all's work. Did they actually put in work like they're trying to claim nowadays? Or do you think they were just being typical French and blowing their own horns? Just one last question before I get out of y'all's hair this time.
he said
What? I heard that. I was wondering, when y'all sent Benjamin Franklin over to France, how much did you think he actually put in, or were you one of the guys that kind of believe that he just did a lot of time fooling around? Or do you think he actually made a huge impact and a difference when he was over there?
saying something. And I give you my channels and stuff before we leave. You know, you be able to watch it when I get everything up.
You got a hot spot?
A hot spot?
I got your parting gift. You're gonna like this. I just need to I'll send it to you real quick. Little video photography of my own. Remember when the red eclipse just happened on the moon?
Yeah.
I was up here
Oh, really?
from beginning to end.
Wow.
And yes, I got footage you want to see.
Oh, I definitely will. Thank you, man.
Cool, right?
Yeah. All right. I'm going to end it right here, y'all. I hope we got a lot of good evidence. I believe we did. A lot of stuff was coming through the ghost box. When I go home and go over the evidence, I will be able to hear and understand exactly what they were saying. So, and until next time, peace.